up, my YouTube world? Johnny Moe coming to you with the last part of the turf series. This is my fourth part, Solo and Proud turf series, part 4. This is what I do for round 4. Round 4 starts about the second week in September, and I want it wrapped up by October 12th. I want to be completely done with it. I don't want to be doing a lawn after that. And I'm going to explain to you why. What I do in round 4 is basically a 25-3-10. I'll probably a full pound of slow release nitrogen, at least 3/4 to a full pound of nitrogen. Definitely 50% slow release. I don't want that nitrogen hitting it that hard there because the temperatures are now back into the growing season and you can have a mess on your hands. So I usually do weed controls, basic 3-way, nothing special. If I had some problems in the summer controlling a weed, this is a great time. The temperatures are in the right range for you to really hit it. You can really mix it a lot higher, and that's a good time to put the esters in and really knock out any trouble weeds. Right there, that's what I do. I finish the year out by October 12th. I want to be done. It doesn't always happen that way, but that is my goal, October 12th or Columbus Day in October. I want to be completely done. The reason why I do not put a round 5 on. This year is a great example of why. We've had 3 spells this winter of 60 and 70 degree weather. If you've got fertilizer on your lawn, what's it going to do? It's going to shoot right up. It's going to start growing. And that's exactly what happened this year. We've got lawns right now that can be cut. Usually we start around the second week of April, maybe first week. There's lawns right now that could be cut up because they're fertilized, they were activated. A lot of snow mold because that fertilizer activated and then snow came. The biggest thing that I see, the problem with making lawns grow in the winter when they should be going dormant is this. Winter kill. Winter kill is, there's nothing less, it's nothing different than when leaves fall in the fall and no one picks them up, and then you go to rake them up in the spring and you find out the lawn died in that spot. Why? Because it suffocated it. It's the same thing. That's why you cut your lawn so short in the fall. The last couple cuts, you should cut it, skin it down. Why? So your lawn can breathe. Once the snow, snow calms, about 3 or 4 days later, it melts away, that lawn can breathe. If you leave your lawn high, that snow will pack down that grass and it'll cause it to suffocate itself. That's what happened in February when these fertilized lawns that got a round 5 or a late round 4, they started to really get activated, and that snow came right after it, knocked all that new growth down, and it laid it flat. Now you got snow mold out the yin yang, and now you got some winter kill going on in lawns where you're going to pull up to a lawn and what happened to my lawn? It's because you got a late round, made that grass grow, think it was time to grow, 7 degrees, wake up, wake up, wake up, boom, push the nitrogen. Now snow came, stayed on there for a few days, for a week, and then it just matted it down because all that fresh grass just went, and now no air circulation. Now that lawn's going to be a little thin there. That's why I don't want nitrogen pushing through. By Thanksgiving, I want to be wrapped up with this. I want to be wrapped up with mowing, leaves. Doesn't happen every year. Sometimes you got to go to the first week in December, but you don't want to be cutting grass in December because it makes it hard. Because what happens is daytime temperatures can go to 60s, night times can go into the 20s. In the morning, your lawn's frozen. It's just tough. You don't want a lot of nitrogen being pushed. So lay back off that nitrogen, but you're your own person. You have your own zones, your own warm temperature, cool season, all that. You have to study that. For me in the Northeast, this year was a warm winter, and grasses grew during the winter. I just cut my field on the side yesterday, and I took a good 2 inches off of it. So that means it grew 2 full inches over the winter. And I cut it down. I skinned it. In fact, some places I ground it out, which you're not supposed to do, but it's not fertilized over there. Imagine if that had nitrogen. Now it had a supply source to get even more push and growth. So that's my time. This is the end of this series. I believe it was an informative series. May not have been entertaining as I usually am, but this had to be one of my more prominent question, what I do, how I do it, my fertilizing. I don't talk a lot about the fertilizing end of it, mainly because I try to keep it as simple as possible. As a solo guy, I can't get real big in it because it's a lot of work. It's just not an area in the business I see myself really growing really big. But that's about it. I mean, that's just, I don't do a lot of customers. I can get them all done in about a month, starting on a Monday, working till Friday. I can get them all done in about a month, if I really keep diligent on it. I try to because I want to be done by October. So that's the end of it. So we're done with it. Putting the spreaders away. I got my spreader out right now. I'm working on all the equipment, about ready to do a 2017 setup. I've got a piece of equipment in the shop right now. When it's done, I'll probably come home and do a 2017 setup. And that's great, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the series. It's been a big topic of mine. And I hope that I can always just point back now and say, hey, if you want to know what I do, you can go back to the Turf Series, Solo and Proud Turf Series 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're almost being in order. And this is it. I want to thank you for tuning in. And we're coming up soon with a setup video. And don't forget, the game's about to start. April 1st is coming in 2 weeks. April 1st is coming. That's, as you guys know, that's my game. That's when we try to restart the game. April, May is the first quarter. June, July is the second. August, September is the third. October, November is the fourth. By the third quarter, you want your winter money in the bank. You should be thinking about this right now. You should be thinking, your mind should be set on next June right now. You should be trying to stock away as much money as you possibly can to get through next winter. Because some of you, I know right now, you're probably living on credit. You're probably putting all your gas on credit. All your repairs are on credit right now because you did not plan. You can't do that, guys. So if you'll listen to this, you'll be able to get through next 2018's winter with ease. Thanks, guys.